NIO just had its biggest fuck up since its inception. The community is up in flames, and a revolution is starting. Not against Tesla or against someone else. NIO owners against NIO. Thousands and thousands of NIO owners. To understand how this debacle is so detrimental to NIO, you gotta first understand what makes NIO so special in the first place. And that's the fact that NIO is a 用户企业, a user-oriented, customer-first business, or community-centered business. You treat your customers so well, service is so good, they are so satisfied with the product and the services that they're getting, that they recommend you to friends and families and get you more customers. And it doesn't stop there. They're so satisfied, off the roof satisfaction, that they actually go out of their own way to sell the car for you at auto shows, at showrooms, etc. via NIO user volunteers. And this is exactly what's happening, or I should say was happening. Every year, different auto expos, there's a lot of NIO owners that become NIO user volunteers because they're so happy with the product. They are more than willing to do it for free, sell NIOs at the auto expos. With these NIO user volunteers, right, you're able to talk to prospective customers from a customer to customer perspective, share the good, the bad, and that is very different from the sales reps talking to customers, because who are you more likely to trust? Another customer or the sales rep? Of course, you're going to trust the customer more. So that has benefited NIO hugely. In essence, I estimate, they've probably have doubled the sales force just from this alone. And a lot of other companies are trying to imitate what NIO's doing, but without much success, because NIO service was past tense, that good, that amazing, super satisfied. And in fact, for me personally, even though I knew about NIO as early 2018, that's when I saw the first NIOs at showrooms in Shanghai. I knew it was appealing and could be an alternative to Tesla, but I wasn't fully convinced until Auto Expo in Beijing in 2020. That's where I was able to have a deep conversation with one of the NIO user volunteers. His name is Magic MX. I've actually done a video with him a long time after meeting him, but before I took delivery of my NIO back in 2020. And just from a prospective customer to a already existing NIO owner, we were able to chat, and he was able to show and explain all the benefits of NIO, and that really helped persuade me to pull the trigger, in a sense, and buy a NIO. I was fully convinced that this is such a great company that you have a lot of NIO owners going out of their own way to sell the car for the company. You don't see that with Teslas. You don't see that with BMW. Are you ever going to see a BMW owner trying to sell BMWs at a BMW store? Never. Honestly, for me, if it wasn't for him and all his honest words and his personal experiences, I probably would not have bought a NIO. It's very important, these NIO user volunteers. And every year there's a ton of them, and they do a fantastic job at convincing customers that the high price tag of a NIO is absolutely worth it. Because for me personally, when I told my father-in-law that I was going to buy a Chinese branded EV that costed 400k RMB, he was like, "Are you retarded?" If it wasn't for these NIO user volunteers, sales would be a lot worse. And of course, NIO doesn't have any advertising. It's more word of mouth, and word of mouth really goes far away. NIO owner with 23 NIOs, man, he's got a ton of referrals as well. And that's in essence how they were able to get to where they are today. Existing customers bringing in new customers via their friends or family. So it's very important. NIO's ecosystem, this referral program, NIO user volunteers, it's very important. But what happened? Well, NIO just took a knife, stabbed it in our backs, twisted the knife, and it hurts. And it's gotten so bad, a revolution is starting. Thousands of NIO owners revolting against the company. I'm personally also a victim, and I've joined one of these groups just to see what's going on. And I'll share a lot of these messages later. Well, NIO owners, we always trusted the company that NIO would be very different from Tesla. And when willingly said that NIO would never cut prices in order to protect the interests of existing customers. Now that statement has come to haunt him greatly because just recently they cut prices, discounts, they're giving away free NIO Pilot. Now even though he lied about price cuts and that kind of stuff, discounts, that's not the big deal, all right? It's impossible for a car company to have the price the same for 4 or 5 years. Just not possible. Price fluctuations is normal. But what the consensus is amongst all the NIO owners that are just revolting and super pissed and mad, ape shit mad, I'm telling you, is that they're giving away NIO Pilot for free. Of course, it's a software unlock. Everybody else, we paid 39,000 RMB for NIO Pilot. Some folks, because it's so pricey and expensive, they even have financing on it and they pay monthly for the full NIO Pilot. And all of a sudden they're giving it away for free. Not 50% off, not 70% off, not 30% off, completely free. And that is a big no-no amongst all the NIO owners. This NIO owner said, "Mother, I just took delivery 4 months ago. Now they're giving away free NIO Pilot." The problem is this thing supposed to be free? Are we, the NIO owners, stupid for trusting the company and putting our money into the company to buy NIO Pilot? Or is NIO stupid for giving this away for free, knowing that it's gonna piss off existing NIO owners, stabbing us in the back, and yet still doing it? Because I can guarantee you, here this NIO owner said, "I would never, ever recommend my friends to buy a NIO ever again. Trash, trash, trash." NIO has completely lost our trust. We got rug pulled. This is so frustrating. When I bought the car last year, they tell me national subsidy is running out. Now they're doing price cuts, zero interest financing, and also giving stuff away for free. We fund our NIO Pilot purchase. I would never buy a NIO ever again, or recommend my friends and family to buy it. Let the stock keep falling. All kinds of scam. NIO is the most insidious car company I have ever seen. Now that I got betrayed, I feel like any car company is better than NIO. 还不如人家特斯拉光明正大降价，未来就会搞点偷鸡摸狗. Saying at least Tesla had the audacity to publicly announce price cuts. Whereas with NIO, they're doing it like a petty little thief, like as if they're trying to steal the chicken and grab the dog. If you ask NIO, some of them will deny that there's even, giving away free NIO Pilot. But then if you pose as a brand new customer and you go to a NIO store and then you go to one of the sales reps and say, "Hey, I'm interested in buying cars. Is there any discounts?" They tell you the truth. And the truth is they're giving away the full NIO Pilot. And then finally, of course, it's gotten to an extent, it's been exposed. Just recently, they had to admit it. So NIO has just shot themselves on the foot. Well, actually more like stabbed themselves on the leg. Because A, this has already tarnished NIO's reputation. Doesn't matter what the outcome is, it has already tarnished their reputation. NIO owners no longer trust the company. Then if you backstab them, how are they going to sell the cars for you at those auto shows? They're not. They're going to be warning their friends and family not to buy a NIO. So thousands and thousands of NIO owners have gathered in these chat groups, forming sort of like a mini army to go up against NIO, against what they're doing. Even though NIO has said this is only for a small group of people, the damage has already been done. And as you can clearly see, all these NIO owners are mad as hell. So here are some of the solutions that collectively as an army that they've come out with. And either way, this is going to cost NIO. These 5 questions are believed to represent the voices of many users who buy big NP, NIO Pilot. The facts have been created, and I have also stood in your company's perspective for thinking. First of all, price cuts are normal business practices, which is irrefutable. There is no fixed price for goods. It is impossible to require a car that comes out for 4 to 5 years without a price cut. It's unscientific, and such an enterprise cannot survive for a long time. We are not unreasonable, but also hope that NIO can go further. We also use practical action in support of NIO. Li Bin and Qin Li Hong can see the sales data, how many orders are contributed by old customers, How many new users are brought in by old customers? And this is exactly the point. There's a ton of people being referred by older NIO owners, and then they refer new people, and then the cycle goes on, but then NIO has just shut down this whole entire cycle. The most unacceptable is that your company sells NeoPilot to old customers at a price of 39,000 RMB while giving new customers free NeoPilot. What is this? Is this a business? This thing, in the end, is it free or is it high tech worth a lot of money? What is it? Is it worth more than 39,000? And how come it's worth 39,000 when you sell it to older customers, and then for newer customers it's worth 0? What? So how do we turn things around from this detrimental situation that we are in? There has been several suggestions. This is one of them, and I'm going to share it with you guys because, if things go on like this, this is not good. This is not good. You do not want to see things go on like this. So, 1, for those early purchases of NeoPilot owners, give them unlimited power swaps for life. Basically, what I have, unlimited, only for non-operation purposes. So, if you use it to do DD, to do Uber, basically, remove this privilege immediately. 2, people that have bought NeoPilot, spend the full money, and already have unlimited power swaps, give them a battery upgrade discount. So that's also reasonable. If you have already upgraded the battery, then perhaps offer 1 year or 2 years of NIO's insurance free of charge. Because what you're seeing right now with NIO's secret hidden promotion is that they're giving away free NIO insurance, free NeoPilot, and then big discount, which is absolutely crazy, insane. Those that have the smaller NeoPilot instantly get it upgraded to the full NeoPilot, and those NIO owners that did not have anything, they did not buy the small NeoPilot or the big NeoPilot, give them the small NeoPilot with lane keep assist. All of these compensations are very reasonable in my sense. It's not going to be too costly for NIO, and they could really turn things around if they implement these changes. Whereas just going all out war with the NIO owners, not going to work out well, since NIO's whole entire business depends so much on referrals. And NIO's attitude has got to change because they can't keep denying things. They can't keep shifting blame. It is unacceptable. So these groups, these revolt groups, these revolution groups, there's more and more NIO owners joining every day. And I can tell you, I can't even keep up with the messages. They're just batshit mad, man. People are batshit mad. They seek compensation. What they're seeking, is a full refund of the money, because that will cost NIO a ton of money. Probably, I did a quick math, probably somewhere around the ballpark of $700 million US. Not going to happen, all right? Not going to happen. But of course, some form of compensation has to happen. Otherwise, these NIO owners, they have already lost trust in the company. Some of them are discussing which brand that they should switch to, ditch NIO, because they've completely been backstabbed and lost trust in NIO. It feels like you got kicked on the teeth. You paid $39,000 for something. The next day, it's free. What the fuck? What the fuck kind of business decision is that? You already have NIO owners displaying this on the back of the car, basically. It says 中国韭菜, but it just means I got rug pulled and scammed. And that is obviously not something, from the brand wise, you don't want NIO owners displaying that, because that's just warning people not to buy the car. I got rug pulled. I don't trust the company anymore. Be careful. That's what it says. NIO owners would never trust the company like it used to do after being backstabbed. I mean, once you get backstabbed, the pain will always be there, even if the wound heals. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of compensation NIO comes up with, because they gotta come up with a compensation. Otherwise, in the long run, if you keep this war going on, right, instead of NIO owners referring people, giving you sales, they're gonna be warning people not to buy, and that's just gonna hurt you guys so much, and it's gonna cost way more than just coming up with a compromise and some sort of a middle ground compensation to the existing NIO owners that bought NeoPilot or don't even have NeoPilot. Either way, there's a lot of solutions to make this work. Obviously, the sooner the better. People have already spread the word out. The damage has already been dealt to NIO owners. And now it's up to NIO to decide how much damage they want to take. The longer they drag this out, the more and more NIO owners in these chat groups, the more and more rage that builds up against the brand, the more and more bad word of mouth that spreads, and that's an absolute downhill path that you do not want to be going on. Whoever that came up with this idea of giving out free NIO Pilot to boost sales needs to be fired 100%. Stabbing all NIO community members in the back is not worth it for just a minuscule amount of cars that they want to get rid of. So NIO really fucked up on this one.